part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and today we are bringing an end to our coverage of the first three X-Men movies. With the final of this trilogy, it is called X-Men: The Last Stand, aka How to Destroy a Franchise. Joining me today, I have two wonderful guests. Can't believe we got them. These are big deals. For my first guest, bizarrely down the road for me, we just learned this. They are an LA stand-up, formerly Chicago stand-up. They do stand-up. Please welcome to your ears, Katie Novotny. What's up,
Hello.
Katie? Yeah, sip that water. How is it? You were telling me you just did a walk today. How was the walk?
The walk was great. I'm still sweaty. It's really fun to, take a brisk one and drip sweat. Really, you learn a lot of stuff about yourself,
Truly. Famously, I've never walked before, but I can't wait to try. My second guest, man, so many credits, but let's just consider her my friend. Please welcome Shelby Plummer.
Yeah.
I wanted to say
that I did ask you to introduce me as my friend Shelby. So tell your listeners that was something I requested.
I love it. I'll call you whatever. I've been trying to get Shelby Plummer on this podcast since the beginning. We got it. I'm gonna go to Shelby first. How was this the right movie for you? How did you feel about X-Men: The Last Stand? I feel like I've never talked to you about X-Men, so I was like, I don't know. Hopefully she'll like it.
No, it's actually funny. So my partner had shown me the X-Men that happened before this a while ago. And as I think we'll come to figure out, I'm really bad with like names and titles and character names. So I was a little bit high while watching it, and my partner was like, "You seen the prequel?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the one where they have like the dam and then there's like power lines." And he was like, "What?" And I that's probably a poor way to describe the first X-Men movie. So, but I had been braced to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of stuff that was I didn't love.
That makes sense. And I'm sure we will get into it. I'm very fascinated to see what well, let me follow that up. Shelby, was there anything that you did love? You don't have to be specific. Just let me know if it's a yes or no. Like,
no, I could be specific. I loved how horny Rogue was. Rogue was like, give me the serum. I want to fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants to touch people.
Absolutely. Yeah. During this whole conversation and this whole movie, just know Rogue's trying to fuck. That's all she's trying to do.
The whole time. She's like, I got to touch somebody. She's like, it couldn't get the serum quick enough.
Yeah. Which, we'll get to her soon. Katie Novotny, want to go to you. Just like your initial thoughts on X-Men and X-Men: The Last Stand. Again, same question. I think you said you're not an X-Men fan, correct?
No, so for context for all the listeners, for years, my brother has been trying to get me into Marvel and X-Men and everything. And it took me getting COVID last year to finally go in. And my sister and my sister's boyfriend got her to watch it. And she was like, you would like it. Because we're all a bunch of Harry Potter and like people. And she was like, it's a world that you can fall into. Like, believe me, it's going to be fun. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I got in and I was like sobbing by the end of Affinity Wars. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like so excited. And then I rewatched it all this past year because I was just like craving a world, because there's not a ton of that anymore. So when I went into X-Men world, it was always on my list. And when this came up, I was like, okay, well, I need the background, I need the context. And I watched the first one and I was like, this is very 2006, I was like, holy smokes. And like, you kind of see like the bones of what the Marvel universe has become in it, but it doesn't have like the quick wit yet. It doesn't have like, it's like, I have a list of all my favorite like dialogue lines like that are just wild, the wildest things ever. And I like, it kind of is like the good bad, you know what I mean? And like the oh, Mr. President. Oh, Mr. President, shut up. Like, oh my
That
God.
fucking
Like,
that
it made
old ass president. My God.
Yeah,
so made me
Hell
so-
hath no fury like a woman scorned.
yeah.
right. I
You're
thought
like,
the blue guy was the president like halfway through the movie.
You
But
mean
that's wrong.
do you mean Dr. Fraser
Beast.
Crane?
Yes.
We all know that was Kelsey
Oh,
Grammer, correct?
yeah. So Damon, you're gonna love this. So I didn't take notes. Katie was better than I did and took notes herself, but my partner took notes.
Excellent.
And one of the notes that he took for me was, here we go. Wait. When I said Beast looks so fucked up, but the CGI wasn't there yet. I think we can all agree.
It was all practical. Like I think that was all makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so he revealed to me that the Beast is Kelsey Grammer, Frasier. I had to look Frasier up, and then I said, "Oh, that's why Damon likes this. Frasier's his favorite." Shout out to Gay Frasier on Instagram.
Thank you.
So
That is wonderful. Hopefully, by the time we drop this podcast, Gay Frasier will have a renaissance. So I believe they are rebooting Frasier, and I'm gonna time my relaunch of Gay Frasier with the reboot of Frasier. That's a little bit peek behind the curtain there. Okay, my thoughts on this movie. I love the X-Men franchise. Me and my brother growing up, X-Men was like our thing. I would say he loves Spider-Man and I love the X-Men, and we came together on Batman. But like X-Men, we loved them all. But like X-Men, Batman, Spider-Man, those were our top 3 superhero things. So I was all in for these movies. And I think we haven't even talked about what I think is the true failure of this movie. I'm all for this third movie about the cure. I think that's, because they're you thought this was just a trilogy. I think this is a great way to end a trilogy of like the cure for their mutation, because like that's been the main conflict for all these movies, that the humans want mutants gone, and now they have this, I mean, essentially peaceful way of like, just give up your powers and then we'll accept you into society. What fucking sucks is that in addition to that, they want to do the Dark Phoenix plotline. Are you kidding me? And they did it bad. I'm gonna go off on a nerd tangent. I'm so sorry, but this is a podcast about Marvel movies. Jean Grey gets that Dark Phoenix power from a cosmic space cloud or whatever. Like that comes from space. The fact that they're trying to I mean, this is like such an old argument, but it's been a few years, so let's bring it back. The fact that they're going to retcon and say that Professor X is this like weird, crazy manipulator who has been like caging her brain and like manipulating her thoughts because her power is too powerful, which again is sexist in the first fucking place, to have a female character who can't handle the strength of all this power, that she has to turn evil and kill everyone, is just fucking a metaphor for menstruation that a man wrote, and it just sucks. And I think we should stop doing the Dark Phoenix plot in movies. Oh, okay.
I did send my entire siblings chat that I was doing this, and my brother sent me, he sent a huge paragraph, and at the end he goes, if they want to talk about how poorly they tried to shoehorn and adapt the Dark Phoenix story, well, that's a good, reliable punching bag. Anyway, hope you have fun. So you are right, you guys. I was like, Mike, come on in. Go off, Mikey.
yes.
Thank you, Mikey. But I want to turn it over to you guys, like, because you guys are not like X-Men diehard. So like seeing this Phoenix plot, how did you feel about it? Did you feel like it fit? Like, am I off, years later?
So I wish that I knew more about the Dark Phoenix plot, but something that you had mentioned, and I feel like this probably would have been a disaster had they tried to do it at the time of filming this, but I do feel like, at least with like the serums, there could have been a really good metaphor for like disability rights and like a lot of the things that we're seeing with like disability advocacy. And I mean, even in like the mental health realm, what we're seeing with like autism spectrum, like I feel like, because there are different camps within the disability community who are like, why would you try to, obviously, like, why would you try to eradicate us? There's like nothing wrong with having different ability. And there's also other folks who like have a complicated relationship with their disability, as a lot of the mutants had. So I felt like that could have been a really cool opportunity to bring in like that sort of dialogue. I'm not sure if that's what the Dark Phoenix touches on. I'm off. Maybe I'm off. For sure.
No, I think you're right on, because I mean, I think the Dark Phoenix doesn't, and I think that's why it ultimately doesn't work, because there is an argument there of like, Jean Grey's mutation has she's become unhinged, and it's like, see, we need a cure. But like nobody ever makes the cure plot connect to the Dark Phoenix plot. Like she's, Magneto just kind of recruits her. She's like, hey, I need a fucking like nuclear weapon in my war against the humans. But my brain's getting tongue tied just thinking about The Last Stand. Also, it's not The Last fucking Stand. There's like 6 movies after this. 7. I'm so sorry. There's 7 movies after this. Like it should have been because I appreciate what I like about the X-Men movies is that they have this relationship with the press and like you feel what the world feels like. And I think that's something current Marvel movies don't do. I never really know, how do we feel about the fact that the Avengers made Ultron and he like almost destroyed the planet? Like we don't really have a sense of how the public feels about these superheroes, but you definitely do in the X-Men. And I feel like it was such a missed opportunity to like have the president be like, and now Jean Grey, who was speaking in front of Congress in X-Men 1, is now the most dangerous mutant alive. We have to cure them. Like, it's such a thing that they didn't do. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm... Let's just stay on Jean Grey. Let's just get all the Jean Grey shit out of the way so I can be a little bit happier.
On that note, though, I thought it was oddly still, like, super relevant. Like, for what... Like, it's like, despite, like, the missteps with the sexism, which honestly I don't know if I put those pieces together. I was just like, oh, that's a weird plot, like that's a weird plot twist. I was like, I thought
and maybe I'm overreaching, but that's
I mean, I don't have that depth of knowledge, I was like my first note was in the opening. I was like, oh my god, he can walk. And then I was like oh
yeah
I was like, oh, we are going back. Catch up. And that's why I went back. That's why I went all the way back. But I was like, there are so many things that are still like, I'm also reading a lot of like 90s novels right now. And there's so many themes that are the same right now. And then I watched this and it was like, there's still so many themes that are relevant right now. And like, Shelby, to your point, like, I don't know, like my mom, it has transverse myelitis. She's in a scooter. And I'm like, oh my God, I would kill. If there was a serum out there right now, I was like, put that fucking thing in her. Let's fucking go, but like, it was like, you kind of see it in this like superhero, like filter. And it's like, what is it accepting your difference? Is it being true? Does that mean you're true to yourself, or is it just means like you're okay with like what's been going on? It was just like very interesting to see that filtered through like all the changes that are happening right now that took place. However, what was it? It wasn't 2000. It was like still early 2000s, right? When this was filmed.
The 2006. Yeah.
So it's like still like it's crazy how those like big themes still hit. Were in literature, in movies, and whatever. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Guys, can I piggyback off of what you said? Like so Colin showed me this, like, I don't know, it a Reddit meme that was probably, oh god, a meme, some sort of internet image. And I thought it was like so relevant. It showed the scene where like Storm is talking to Rogue and is like, of course you don't want to get rid of your mutant powers. And then like a commenter was like, okay, so we have a person who can like literally make the weather great whenever they want, telling that to somebody who kills everything that she touches.
Yeah.
Like
you can literally make sunshine, Storm.
Yeah, like Storm, y'all are living through the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
we're not the same. We're not the same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's go through there's Rogue. We'll talk about her next. I want to quickly just touch on so in this conversation, we're saying like the idea of the cure, like should you take it, should you not? It's different from mutant to mutant, because there's some people who have a very obvious mutation, one of which is Ben Foster's character Warren, aka Angel, the guy with the wings.
The wings.
I just want to put this into the conversation. This is what happens with Warren in this movie. We see him as a child, which I believe to be a deleted scene that I don't know why it was there. He's trying to hack off his wings. I'm so sorry.
I haven't been able to stop thinking about that scene since I watched it. It affected me in such a visceral and upsetting way.
God.
Like I like. There's not been a piece of media that I have watched that has impacted me in such like.
Oh my god!
Like the cheese grate. Oh,
The
oh my
cheese grater.
god.
The fucking grater?
Do not.
Are you joking me? We don't need special effects. That was insane.
No.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
But then it's like cut to present day. He's got full wings and he's gonna get the cure. And then he's like, no, I'm actually proud of my wings. I'm gonna smash through this window and fly so everyone sees me. And then
Yeah.
he goes to
He was
the Xavier
like,
Institute. Oh, go ahead.
I wrote that down too. He was like, no, it's what you want. And he's like, busts out the window.
Yeah.
Holy
And then
shit, man.
And then he goes to the Xavier Institute and he's like, oh, they're going to kill my dad. And then he saves his dad. I'm like, how does he feel about his dad? I don't understand.
I wrote down, okay, also, this also is very linear to my Harry Potter world, but I was like, he's Draco. He's Draco.
He's Draco.
He's Draco. His dad is evil,
Is
but he
Lucius.
still loves him.
Yeah.
And like, he doesn't really know what to do with himself.
Yes. Well, I love the comparison that you made earlier to Marvel, because I feel like in Marvel they do such a great job of fleshing out like the relationships between people.
Mhm.
And I felt like, especially with Angel and his father, like I think that to me feels like it could be like a really impactful story of like still yearning to have your parents like attention and love despite what they've done to you, and also like his dad's complicated relationship to like mutant them. But there was like 4 lines of dialogue between them the entire movie, and I was
Thank
like,
you.
how am I supposed to care about this, because
Yeah,
we
you
haven't
can't.
talked about it.
You can't.
We have not talked about it.
It's like
What?
it's like an F storyline, you know? Like
Yes.
it's very minimal.
In an
It feels
X-Men
like-
movie.
Yeah, it feels like it maybe was bigger and they chopped the important stuff. Oh,
No.
sorry.
Don't
Poor
say
choice of
chopped.
words. They graded the
Oh!
stuff down to the bare minimum. But I was like, I also like, I don't know, like again, going back to 2006, like all those boys look the same to me and they all look like villains. Like I was like, oh, just another white boy villain from the 90s who was attractive then and does nothing for me now. And he's always flying out the window.
That is true. I would say Angel, Iceman, and Pyro, the fire guy, all look like the same person.
Fire guy. Yeah, I
Yes.
kept writing fire guy down. And then Bobby too kind of was the same. Like they all like that cropped hair, the little duck flip
Yes.
at the top.
Yeah, the blonde boys with spiky hair. The
Yeah.
blonde white boys with spiky hair.
My
Villain.
first love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was having a great time in 2006.
he has a type.
Yes. Okay, so that's Angel. We could talk about, there's that trio of, man, can I say in 2006, however old I was, I must have been just shy of 20. So what was that? 18. I was 18 in 2006. I can't tell you how excited I was to see Iceman versus Pyro. I was like, fire and ice. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The teen boy was like, here we go. And then I got it, and they just kind of like shoot light at each other. And there's a poor, fully CGI'd Iceman. I'm like, okay. I don't know.
Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic. And the movie even knew it, because there was like a point where Pyro was going to go fight Iceman, and Magneto was like, no, not yet. I was like, oh, they're delaying the fight of the century. And it's just not their movie, I think, ultimately. Do you guys have any feelings about Iceman and Pyro? Because this is the only time I'll probably talk about them.
I thought I had a note about them, but I'm trying to find it. I do have the guy with the tongue is from the first movie. Or is he comes back in the second. But
The guy with the
that's
tongue?
not-
Guy.
Oh, the Toad.
the toad.
Yeah. Oh, he got fried in the first movie.
Oh.
Storm was
Oh.
like, lightning. Goodbye.
This is the run of my notes that leads up to the fire and ice is you talk pretty tough for a man in a cape, and then dark mark ? Flame guy. So and then porcupine face is what I have. Is my-
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Porcupine face, like he has to hug his prey to kill them. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Dude.
And
You
I
I
imagine?
like that.
I
don't-
didn't love it. I didn't love it. I was like, where's
No.
this going? And then I was like, oh,
And I love that actress. I forget that actress's name, but the one she gets killed by the porcupine eye, she has that very raspy
my
voice.
God, I love her voice. I love her voice.
Like, to make a career out of being a cigarette smoker, good for you.
Incredible.
A plus.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's all the notes I have on him.
Okay, are Fire and Ice brothers, or did I make it up?
You made that up.
Cool.
But
Just doing a pulse check.
Fire Guy used to be a student of Professor X, And in the last movie before this, X2, X-Men United, he joined forces with Magneto and Mystique. This is a great time to talk about Mystique, Rebecca Romaine. The cast won't stop. There's just so many people. They're all here. I think Mystique gets a bum rap in this movie. I feel bad that she gets cured, not by her choice, and then Magneto's like over it.
Dude,
sucked.
Unbelievable. She was wild. At what point I said, Blue Lady is wild. Oh my God, she's turning human. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't. She sacrificed herself in the ultimate way because she actually wanted to be herself and she was forced not to. And then she got fucked so hard because he was like, oh, now you're not one of us. I was like, my high school self was sad. I was like, this is like bullying to the nth degree. I don't like it.
Yes. And I also am just like, something that was so frustrating to me is like, throughout the movies, Mystique has been like number one in espionage for Magneto, has been like Magneto's right-hand person, and immediately drops her. Immediately is like, oh, and then what pissed me off even more is he was like, well, she used to be beautiful. It's like, bitch, she saved your life. Like, you would not have this operation without her, and now you're making it about how she looks, and she just like sacrificed her mutanthood for you, like, but then he's like, oh, my best friend, which, don't get me wrong, I think that there can be like strong male friendships, but there is a love thing going on between academic and vigilante, Magneto and, oh God, the Doctor,
Professor X.
You know what I mean? Because that's the only person that he has like feelings towards.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right? Okay. Bookmark that. I do have a question when it comes to Mystique. Do you think, because on this watch I had this thought, because there's that moment where she like turns him into the government and tells him where Magneto is, but then it's a big fake out because they have that multiple man like as like a decoy. Was that part of their plan? Like, was it like, let me pretend to be over her so that she'll like tell them where they are, but then it kind of allows him time to get to San Francisco to do the big Alcatraz thing. So
he's moving that bridge across the water.
So I don't know, discuss amongst yourself. But going back to your thought about Professor X and Magneto, I think this is ultimately why I loved X-Men. It's so gay because
it's so gay.
This will bring us to Cyclops. Wolverine and Cyclops, that moment, it's like, where are you, Cyclops? Leave me alone. Like, they're fighting over Jean Grey. Sure. I've never seen them that passionate to Jean as they are to each other. Care to disagree or agree? Whatever. I think they love each other.
There was a lot of strong feelings across the board. I was like, this is what's his face? Dumbledore and what was
I know.
Grindelwald? Yes.
Yeah, Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
Like they had like a very strong friendship into something else that grew and grew and grew over the years. And then like the split, but they still have that like burning love for each other underneath. That's why they can't destroy each other, you know?
I love it. Ultimately, that is why I'm bad at relationships, because I am seeking that. I'm seeking someone I would love so much they would turn into my enemy, and I need to work on that.
Yeah. Same.
Because then I know it's real. Shelby, what were you going to say?
Can I add another couple to the queer reworking of this?
That's the only reason why we're here.
Okay, right. So Rogue and Elliot Page should have been an item. Let's take the ice guy out of it. It's like, Rogue, you can keep your mutantdom. Like, Shadowcat can literally enter your body and fuck you from the inside. Like, but also the extensions that they put on Elliot Page were a fucking crime. Take those out of his hair.
That was wild. I forgot. I've been saying on this podcast, the superpower I would want to have is Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat, like the ability to walk through walls.
Yeah, that's sick.
You are untouchable. In that final battle, all of Elliot Page's moves are so fucking great. When they like run through the person and grab them by the collar and slam them to the ground, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Kind of like who was the guy in who's Wanda's brother?
Quicksilver Pietro. He's super fast.
Yeah, like it kind of reminded me of that, and I was like, he can like literally do anything. He can save stuff. He can move stuff. He can get bullets moved away from it. He can go inside that. It was sick.
Yeah,
I liked it. But I also like never bought Wolverine and Jean as like an item, and I think that's probably why, because there was more passion everywhere else.
Yes.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere.
I was like, you're just a fucking freak who likes this other girl who never gave you any inclination that she likes you back.
Yes. Yes.
And
like their makeout scene was weird. It was bad and weird.
I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. It made me mm-mm.
And you know, this is like the beginning of like heading into like the dark ages of superhero movies where like everyone's like, we got to make it darker. We got to make it not nerd fun. It's got to be really painful and dark. Like having, you know, this is a summer blockbuster and your female lead is just like, kill me or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't love that very much.
And it's like, and you know, what is it? Like are we saying that her mutation for Jean Grey just like it will make her want to kill the world? Because it was just like, what is the Phoenix's end game? Like, what do they want? I never understood what they wanted.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, so she killed the guy that she loved. She killed Professor X. Like, is she just killing people she loves? What is it? Or is it like a bigger threat? And like, who am I supposed to be rooting for? Because you're not giving the good part of her enough positives. And like, no one else seems to be on the side besides Professor X to keep her around.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved a conversation between Jean Grey and Phoenix, because it's like, it seems like Jean Grey kept Phoenix like tucked away for so long, and now Phoenix is rising and like killing everybody that Jean Grey loves. Like, that could have been a really interesting dialogue to happen like internally with Jean Grey and Phoenix, but then it was just like, oh no, unbridled rage. Like, we have to have that weird, gross, horrible scene where Wolverine's like getting deteriorated and then like kills Jean Grey.
What if they had a scene where she was talking to Rogue and they were bonding over the how they just always are killing each other, people that they love?
To hop on that, it wouldn't, because Rogue's whole thing is like, she not only like when she touches a mutant, she gets their powers, but she also gets their memories. So like maybe Rogue like mind melds with the Phoenix and like, oh, I know what she really thinks, y'all. That's my Rogue.
Southern.
I know.
Write it up. Start it up. Rewrite it.
Bobby, I know.
Bobby, I know. She's pissed. I was in there. She's mad. But I get it.
They're gonna do something about that.
I get it, y'all.
I get it, y'all. I'd be killing people too if I were her.
Smokes a cigarette, puts it out on her face.
All right. Much like Rogue smoking a cigarette and taking a break, we're going to take a break on Podcast 616. When we come back, if you thought those are all the characters, you're wrong. There's more characters to talk about in this movie. Maybe we'll talk about the plot as well. I think we're done with the plot, but you know, TBD. So keep right here to Podcast 616. The Last Stand continues after this. Welcome, everyone, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and I am inviting you to listen and subscribe to this Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. On Podcast 616, we gather some of today's greatest comedians, writers, and actors to dive deep into all things Marvel, like comic book history and lore, all the interconnected superhero storylines, and of course, who's hot and who's not in the MCU. Honestly, why aren't you listening right now? You have the power to listen to Podcast 616. And as we always say, with great power comes even greater responsibility. Listen and subscribe to Podcast 616 wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
Hey everyone, this is Don Mike Mendoza, the host of Producing While Asian. Join us in Season 2 for more conversations with actors, artists, producers, and more from Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond, every other Wednesday on the Press Play Podcast Network.
And we're back. Katie Novotny, our researchers were, we did research on everybody, and we just found out that you had a problem with this being set in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just I don't like normally I'm all for movies being set elsewhere outside of New York and LA because we've had enough.
Yeah.
But I for some reason, and you know what? I will own that like San Francisco holds like Full House in my heart, in my in back. So like maybe there's some shadow of that happening.
Mhm.
But I was just like, I don't I just I don't see San Francisco as like as like a place where things happen. but 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 sorry, San Francisco.
Sorry to 8 seasons of Charmed. Okay.
Yeah. And sorry to all the tech bros that are definitely listening. I'm really sorry.
Huge fans of the spot.
I just kind of block it out. And so maybe there's something there. But like I was like the bridge scene, the earth, it's an earthquake. And then it like obviously wasn't an earthquake. And like, I don't know. It just the stakes weren't high enough. And maybe I don't know enough but about the city of San Francisco and what it relates to X-Men.
So fair. I'll say this. This is the nerdy thing that I have to share. This plot, I don't know if it was Alcatraz exactly. It might have been, but it was an island. This is what happened in the very first X-Men comic book. Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil mutants stormed an island because there was like missiles on that island, and they were like, we're gonna get those missiles and kill all the humans. And it was like the first X-Men mission where they're like, we'll stop you. And I think that's also why, because the original X-Men roster was Jean Grey, who at the time was called Marvel Girl, Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, and Angel. Those are the original 5. So I think that's why Beast and Angel are in this, because they're like, again, they really thought this was the end of the franchise. And they were like, let's do the original X-Men comic book plot. We'll like kill off some main characters, and then we'll be fucking done. And the ghost of Bryan Singer can die with this franchise. Katie, does that help? It
does help. That does help a lot. I think like as a viewer in 2020, I almost said 24, in 2023, I think there is other emotions tied to that city now. It makes sense. It makes sense to the plot. You have to set it there.
That's
maybe the CGI was just really bad on the bridge, and that's what took me out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Going over to Shelby Plummer, our researcher, we did some research on you. You actually worked with Leech in life. Apparently you were the acting coach for the character Leech, who could like stop people from having their powers. So if you could just give us some like on-site information. Was it like working with him? Like, did you feel limited when you were with him?
I really felt like I wanted to harness some of that quiet, brooding energy. I actually originally they had more lines for him in the show, and I was like, take him away. Take away all of the lines. I want his haircut to do the talking, and I want his faces to do the talking, and I don't want him doing any sort of talking. And boy, howdy did they follow that.
That's awesome that you had that much influence. It was necessary.
Thank you. And I also thought that potentially there would be an added scene where instead of Rogue like getting the serum so that her mutant powers would be taken away, that the kid would just kind of be on the other side of the room as she was able to like have sex with somebody.
That sadly would work.
You know?
Okay.
Rogue.
You just stay over there and let me do this. Let me do this.
Yes.
Put some headphones on.
Sweetheart, we're going to get an adjoining hotel room. You're going to stay on that side, and I'm going to get you some earmuffs, but I need you to stay as close to that wall as possible.
Man, I'm so sad that I'm just discovering how fun it is to impersonate Rogue in the last movie that features Rogue.
Yeah, unfortunately you have to start a whole new podcast, a side cast that's all about this now. So
I'll call it Rogue Cast. Going Rogue.
Going Rogue. But it has to be going for the Southern accent.
Going Rogue.
Yeah.
I think what we should do with the time that we have left, let's talk about the deaths. let's talk about the deaths and let's talk about the loss of powers.
Before we move on from the kid, I
please.
did really love the moment where Frasier's hand turned human. That was, and he like saw the possibility of like what could be.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this reminds me of Elphaba in Wicked.
I can't believe.
Wizard and
what are you? Don't do this to me. Play it. Producer
like,
Michael, play it.
Cut to Frasier singing The Wizard and I in all blue. Like that's where my mind went immediately, because it was like the possibility of acceptance, like in one fucking moment. I really
would it be all right by you if I de-bluify you?
Ooh.
But of course, that's not important to me. All right, why not? I'll reply. And that's how we'll begin, this child and I.
Oh my God. Hit it.
Like, I can't believe you did that to me. I wasn't ready for that. I'm like, because y'all, when that Wicked movie comes out, if you know a gay person,
dude,
you need to be ready for the amount of Wicked content we're all going to be dealing with.
I'm so excited, but I loved it. I loved it so much. And Shelby, thank you again for making him not speak, the kid not speak, because it wouldn't have been as impactful, you know?
Exactly. For me, I just really wanted him to get as little screen time as possible, but still his presence was an integral part of the apparent plot that was loose.
Loose. I would say there were two plots. One was loose and one was bad.
That's what they used to call me in high school, baby. Loose.
You know, we are nothing without our memories. All right. And speaking of memories, in loving memory, Scott Summers, Cyclops.
Rip.
Let's just recap Cyclops' arcs in these movies. First one, leader of the X-Men. Second one, immediately kidnapped for the majority of the movie. And then this one, immediately killed. Like, where he died is also where he got kidnapped in the second movie. And I'm like, does Hollywood hate James Marsden?
Dude, I was like, first of all, the second he came on screen, I was like, could they have made different glasses for him? He looks ridiculous. He looks like the worst version of a Florida fisherman I have ever seen. And then I couldn't take him seriously.
Yes. Katie, I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I'm also like, why name him Cyclops if he's going to have two definitive eyes in those sunglasses? Go back to the original drawing, right? Because then he looks like a Cyclops.
I could not make the connection. I was like, what is going on here?
He clearly has two eyes.
He has two eyes. I was like, you could have at least done like one circle band, you know?
Yes. They gave him Oakleys and called it a day.
Yeah. It's like, I just have, my note just says the glasses. I was like, whoever was in charge of props and cost, like, you guys, that was a miss. That was a miss across the board.
I mean, he's the glasses, but then he's called to Alkali Lake by Jean Grey. She comes back to life and she's all that's him. And she's like, you actually don't need these glasses.
And then he's like, ding! And then she's like, you're dead. It's amazing.
It's again, man, I really didn't want to talk about Jean Grey, but all roads lead back to Jean Grey. What was the point of that? Why did you need Cyclops to come? And like, did she need a kiss from someone who she loved to come back to life fully? What the fuck are we doing?
That was wild. Right. And like, he's just brooding and he's in mourning still, because not all of us heal as fast as a werewolf. I mean, Wolverine.
Werewolf.
Yes.
I watched the movies last night. But it was like, it just was so, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, like, oh, that was the other thing from a plot perspective. I was like, she's dead, she's alive, she's dead, she's alive. And then also like, I said 1 to 3, Rogue still can't touch people. Shouldn't we have made progress? Like, I was just that brought up so many questions for me when she came back and then she immediately killed him. I thought it was a joke. I thought there was something else happening, like that he was going to come back to.
100%. I wished, because I thought it would be funny if when Cyclops did the laser thing into the water, a bunch of like fish popped up. Because I think that would be funny. Dead fish, they're like, what? Fried, fully fried. But I also I got so hung up on this. I was like, where the fuck was Jean Grey? Was she like in like an underwater prison a la Hercules and the Titans? Like, where was she?
Yeah, and then the throwaway line that they used to like explain it away was like the only possible explanation is she has this telekinesis, her telekinetic energy formed something around her body, and I was
A
like,
telekinetic cocoon.
cocoon, that's what it was.
Girl was in a cocoon, obviously.
A telekinetic cocoon at the bottom of the ocean, just rolling around with all the sea creatures, just getting knocked around by whales and anemones.
Anemones. Other death we want to hit, Professor X. We did lose the leader, our dear leader.
I couldn't believe that.
Turned into kind of a monster in the last second. He was like,
with a smile,
so mean to Wolverine. Like, how dare you? What did you do? My greatest pet project. I was like, this is not the Patrick Stewart I know.
Yeah, the I warned you comment, and I was like, but you guys would have just talked a little bit more, just open ways of communication. We're missing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, before Obama went into office, no one really talked about their feelings.
Exactly. I mean, men, they're men, so don't be a fucking pussy and talk about your feelings.
Because I do feel like that whole exchange was like, I said this kind of once and you didn't interpret exactly what I wanted from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell? Like, we're like facing apocalypse, boys. Like, can we put some language to feelings?
We are well careful, Shelby, because we don't want to confuse people because there is a movie called X-Men Apocalypse. That's
oh my god, okay, yeah, no.
Oh my gosh.
That's a whole nother story.
Oh my gosh.
Stay tuned after this one.
Okay.
It's weird. It's after, but it's also a prequel, so it kind of happened before.
You know what? I'm realizing I don't know why I expected more though, because another thing I did write down from the line of dialogue was you talk pretty tough for a man in a cape. So, there's not going to be a lot of room for open ways of communication if that's one of your lines of dialogue. So, but I did love that line. It's hilarious.
and ultimately, I'm just skipping to the end. Our final death, Miss Jean Grey. Wolverine kills the woman he loves, which I'll just say this. Coming up on Podcast 616, we'll be talking about the movie The Wolverine, where we get to see Wolverine deal with the ramifications of that act. And that movie is very good. This movie, I don't know. When someone's like, you'll have to kill me at like 15 minutes in, I'm like, well, you're probably going to have to kill her.
Right. It's mentioned in the gun. Like,
and also, I want to put it out. This movie is not that long. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. So
it went quick.
It's a mess, but it's quick. So
yeah. I have another analogy for the end of the movie.
Please.
Did you guys watch the Power Rangers movie back in the day with Ivan Ooze?
Yes.
Do you remember when they were like leap to our doom and like, sent all the robots to go kill to kill everybody else? It felt very like Ivan Ooze Power Rangers end fight to me, with all the quick hits and the quick quips of what am I gonna do? And then he kicks him in the balls and he's like, grow those back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the final fight. With the exception
the final
of
fight was fun.
Fire versus Ice, but like,
I just
seeing them like in a line, having their last stand. We do get a last stand.
Yes.
And I thought that was yeah. Oh, go ahead.
The last stand was great, but I am like, Wolverine, you got to stop charging Magneto. Like he can control your entire body, my guy. What's the plan?
Yes.
Every time.
What's the plan?
I didn't feel like Wolverine came off the smartest overall with a lot of that.
I agree. I think it was because this was he was his most comfortable as an X-Man. Like the other two movies, he's like, I'm the new guy. I don't want to be here. But he's like coming up with plan. He's not the leader. Cyclops is the leader. So he's bad, but he's very comfortable and he has friends.
But he was like still kind of like dumb. And like
I would say, just because we haven't talked about her, he was thankfully had Storm on his side. I think she was the brains of the operation. Yes. I liked that Halle Berry Storm becomes the new headmistress of the school. That she's like, we're gonna stay open, I'm gonna run it. I got you. Angel, you can stay. We'll figure out what the fuck is your storyline is, but you can stay here.
Right. Also, with Halle Berry, they're getting better with the wig that they put her in.
Best wig.
They're getting
Best wig.
better.
Mm-hmm.
And also, but like for some reason, I think that Halle Berry is like a pretty excellent actress. And in this movie, I'm just like, was our head not in it? What was going on there?
Dude, I felt the same way. I was like, Hallie, I love you so much.
Why
Like
with these line reads?
Also, the scene makes no sense when I watched it then and when I watched it yesterday. But like when Professor X is teaching and it starts storming outside and he's like, the fuck? And he's like, what the fuck, Storm? She's like, oh, sorry, I forgot that I could control the weather. Like she just is like, daydreaming with dark thoughts. Oh no, did I make it cloudy again? Like that's weird.
I think like I wanted, because she ended up as the headmistress and she was the brains of the operation, I wanted more from her I wanted to root for her more. And I felt like I was more rooting against Wolverine than for Storm. Like I had more like, I was like, I want to like you. I want more reason to be like, fuck yeah, Storm, like go get him, girl. Like, and maybe that's also a 2006 thing, because we see that like in Marvel like now, and I'm like, Black Widow, fuck yeah, you can fucking tear shit up. But like there wasn't that like I was gonna be my mom and say girl power perspective.
You still can.
I was like, give me a fucking badass Storm, like she can take power. She knows what she's doing. Tell fucking Wolverine to sit the fuck down and they'll figure it out,
I totally agree with that. And she seemed like weirdly juvenile in this movie. I'm like, girl, if you can create hurricanes and tornadoes, like there's no reason why like Kitty Claus should be giving you a run for your money.
Kitty
and
Claus.
Magneto was not even smart in this movie. Like she could have fucking like submerged the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh
like,
my God.
Stop.
We ask, could she have even used her tornado to suck out the Dark Phoenix from Jean?
Just a mini tornado down Jean's throat. Like, let me get that out of there.
Yeah. Just a quick little fishing.
But she's an Omega in the canon too, right? Like she's an Omega level X-Men.
Storm?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Can I bring up one other thing with like the final fight?
Yes.
It went from daytime to nighttime in the amount of time it took that woman to lock the car door.
Yeah, it did. It was pitch black in an instant.
Instantly. And Storm wasn't even there yet that we knew of.
No. I mean, maybe she was, maybe it was another absent-minded. Oh, did I make it cloudy again? No, fuck.
She's like, oops.
I'm so stupid.
I will agree. There was something missing when it came to Storm, but luckily for Podcast 616, you know what's not missing? Our Fuck, Marry, Kill. It is time for us to do our favorite segment of this week and every week, the Fuck, Marry, Kill, X-Men The Last Stand edition. I did want to honor the love triangle, but I think we can all agree Cyclops is kind of a non-entity. So on the docket, we've got Wolverine, Jean Grey / Dark Phoenix, and the Weather Witch herself, Weather Mama, Storm. Storm, Wolverine, Jean Grey, Fuck, Marry, Kill. I will go first to give my guest time to think. Ho hum, I wonder what I'll do. Gosh, who would I kill in this 3? I'm killing Jean Grey. She's, to quote Taylor Swift, I knew she was trouble when she walked in. She is destined to cause drama. She's a mess. And she oh God, I can't stand her. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I'm so sorry. I've never been a fan of Jean Grey. I love her powers, but I've never liked her because I think she's poorly written. She's destined to fly off the handle every time. Pen her up. I'm leaving her in that lake, ocean, drowned. Drowned. This is hard. My fuck. Do I want to be better or do I want to be who I am?
Be who you are. It's pride.
It is pride. And for me, X-Men is a very much an analogy for gays. Okay.
That is.
I'm going to be me. And I'm going to fuck Storm. Hopefully get her to clear up this June gloom in LA. Kind of feels weird that we can't celebrate living in the sun first month of summer. So bring Storm over, give her, I don't know, wine. And then we'll watch the weather from my bedroom window, and that'll be it. And then I'm gonna marry Logan. I'm gonna marry Wolverine. I think he's great, but he has terrible taste. And as someone who also has terrible taste, I can relate. I want to show him another side. It does not have to be Jean Grey. It sometimes can be Jean Sunny. So booyah. Those are my picks. Katie Novotny, going over to you.
Shoot. Okay. I was hoping okay. Oh God. All right. Right off the top,
speak from the heart.
we're not gonna overthink, even though it's my favorite hobby. We are going to say I think I hated Wolverine so much in this movie, and I wanted to like him. I really did, and I thought my loins would be a little bit hotter for him, but they weren't. And if there's a chance that he's gonna kill me at the end of our passionate lovemaking, I'm out. So I'm gonna.
It's true.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna
those
kill
claws
him.
will come out. Yeah.
He scares me a little too much, and he seems to be a little bit too much of a downer, which, I'm already on antidepressants, so I don't need that. I don't need that added to it.
You don't need that.
No, so we're getting him out of there. So on that note, I think I'll fuck Jean Grey, because I think in my heart of hearts, in my brain, I think I could fix her, and then I'm gonna realize I can't. So I'm just gonna like fuck her for her beauty and her powers, but she's a mess. So we're gonna fuck and we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna marry Storm, because I think despite her bad story arc in this particular one, I do see the potential, and I think we have there's a nice base we can work off of, and ultimately, there's a lot of positives on her and hers, not just her powers, but her beauty, the fact that she can lead a school, she clearly looks out for her people.
The fact that she can lead a school.
Yeah,
Put that on the dating profile.
You're a principal. I'm looking for a principal. Is really what I'm after, and she's ticking those boxes.
Yeah. God, what if Storm was played by Ava Coleman on Abbott Elementary? Sorry, that'd be amazing. It's like Storm running the school, but it's played by Janelle James.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think it could work. And if Storm was calling it in, as we addressed, but she's doing it for a paycheck, sometimes we just got to provide for our family, and so maybe that's I kind of respect it as a partner in life. So those are my picks.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Love
Beautiful. That. That's great. Shelby Plummer, bring us on home.
So here's the thing. I have the exact same answers as Katie, but I'm gonna add a little bit to that pairing. So Wolverine, that meme of the kid that it's country boy. I would say that my sexuality works in the exact opposite of that. If I'm gonna date a man, I want clean fingers, nice little clip. I want the term metrosexual, or just another bisexual kind of thrown in the mix. So the whole alpha wolf thing that Wolverine has going on actually is the opposite of what I'm into. So that's an easy bye.
Goodbye to Wolverine.
Goodbye. Then okay, so with Jean Grey, it would also be a fuck, because to have somebody that you sleep with be able to read your mind, you wouldn't even have to say oh, I want this way. They would no.
That's true.
So true. Or if you had something you're oh, it's the first date, I don't know if I want to dive that deep into what my kinks are. Jean already knows, and Jean's ready for it.
Dude,
ready for it. But that's also, I think, why she would be a bad choice for a life partner, because if you're trying to have an open conversation, exactly, she would just continue reading your minds. That would be the worst thing ever. But then Storm, totally hard to agree on everything about the stability, but also no matter where you go, the weather's going to be perfect conditions for the vibe at all times. And that's a big component to me wanting to hang out with somebody.
The weather.
It is.
It's like we should hang out. Ugh, it's raining. I can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like if it's sunny out, I don't want to really like stay in and cuddle. Like I want to be outside. But if it's a cuddle morning, I'm like, Storm,
Let's do it. Let's make it
yeah,
happen.
like fuck it up outside so that we can stay in.
Fuck it up outside, Storm. Those are beautiful. Wonderful picks. I will say, I don't know why I feel the need to defend my choice of Wolverine, but I think because I've just watched a very good Wolverine movie, I'm very pro Wolverine. But I would agree he's not his best self in this outing. But he can be better. I know he can.
I will say I thought
You
he
don't
was
agree? It's fine.
And with like everyone was like, oh my god, like I wanted to watch. I was like, oh, I should watch Logan. I want to watch like, but then I watched it the two back to back, and I was like, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to watch it.
Ooh,
I know, but like, it really. I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed, you know.
like any good parent. Lovely. I mean, I feel like we really breezed through this movie, but are there any other thoughts about X-Men: The Last Stand? It's like, again, it's so weird to watch it because it acts like it's ending a thing, but I'm like, you're barely the middle of this huge franchise. So like, any other final thoughts? I know, like, to the yada yada yada, the Cure thing. Fraser stabs Sir Ian McKellen, which is if you haven't seen the show, that's a very Fraser move. So Magneto gets the cure, but then at the last shot of the movie, he kind of wobbles the chess piece. And I think, Shelby, I forget if you said this while we were recording, but like post-credit scene, we see that Professor X has like put his consciousness into the body of a coma patient, which was hinted at earlier. So basically, nothing happens in this movie.
Right.
At the end of the day, nothing sticks.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's now in the canon that nobody dies. Nobody has to die.
Nobody. And in the later movie Days of Future Past, which plays with time travel with the prequel cast and this cast, they redo time, and then Jean and Cyclops are both back alive as well. So at the end of the day, this movie is kind of useless. Canon. It's just a thing that happened.
I have two last notes. One, I really did like the chess scene because that was like him like being forced to be normal is like the ultimate torture for him. Like I loved that. Like you're just another fucking old guy in a park with nothing to do like the rest of us. Fucking suck it up. You know, loved that. And then like the fun little knock it over move. So I guess between that moment and the Frasier Elphaba moment were my favorites. And then
yes,
thank you.
And then I the press conference, I forgot to bring this up when we were talking about it, but there was a woman in the background who looked like Sarah Palin, and I just wanted to she had like the hair up and like the suit.
She had full
like,
Palin.
I was like, she's full Palin. And I was like, was this right before she was like, I can't shoot, before she tried to like run for office? She was like, maybe I'll be an actor.
2 years, yeah.
I like that story in my head. So
wow. Shelby Plummer, any final thoughts about any your last stand thoughts?
Okay. I think I have two, but Katie just reminded me of one, and now I'm forgetting. Before the press conference, you were talking about, do you remember? The chess. That's it. I so desperately wanted Mystique to like walk up and just fucking backhand that chess set off of the table and be like, who's the Homo sapien now? Like, fuck that. I'm so mad. I was like, where's Mystique? And then finally, okay, so I had mentioned I was a little high while watching this last night. And I want to get some opinions. I think it would be great if there was like a superhero duo that can share age. So like they're twins and each of them are 30, but they can like give or take years from each other. So they can like switch between like young, old, same age. Colin said it was stupid. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of like personifying the portrait of Dorian Gray, right? That'd be great if they had the plot of like whatever happened to Baby Jane, and like one of them is like, I'm going to lock you away and steal your youth.
Yes.
I think,
and like just simple day to day, they can get senior discounts and free food for children.
Yeah.
I feel like that
ride, you know.
Is what?
You both be infants and get free lap seats.
Ooh,
Yes.
beautiful.
I'm for it. I'm pro.
I'm pro. I'm also pro.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Suck it, Colin. No, I'm joking. I love him a lot.
That's great. Yeah, don't say that about my friend Colin. Beautiful. Thank you both so much. Katie Novotny, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kath Novotny, which I made before I started doing comedy. So that is my full name. That's my full name is Kathleen. And so it was a joke. And now I'm stuck with it. So that's where I'm at, baby.
Hey, that's how we feel with X-Men: The Last Stand. We're all
Yep.
stuck with it. Thank you. Shelby Plummer, where can we find you?
Oh, I have a public Instagram that is also my full name, Shelby Joe Plummer. Or hey, if you need some counseling services, feel free to look me up on Psychology Today.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yes.
Fucking yes.
I love.
I'm gonna hit you up.
God, I love having professional friends. This is Podcast 616. You can follow us on Instagram at Podcast616P3. That P3 stands for Press Play Productions, Press Play Podcasts. I know who I'm working for. They're the podcast network that allows me to talk about the X-Men all summer long. Oh, I forgot to say, this is our Summer of X. You can follow me, Damon, on Instagram at Royster. Thank you. Throwing up the X, Summer of X. We will begin the journey of talking about the Wolverine movies with, unfortunately, Wolverine... Was it X-Men Origins, Wolverine? It's bad. But then it gets better, but it starts bad. So thank you both so much. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you, Producer Michael. I think, Producer Michael, you would give this podcast an A++ if I don't say so myself. Everybody, have a great week. And don't forget that with great power comes even greater responsibility.